Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another live and provocative episode of COGOPO Live, where we have the host with the most, your one and only Minister Chad Adams, aka Evangelist in James, and I'm here to lead you into this wonderful show today with some wonderful people. And I tell you, God has been good to us, and He's been good to all of us on the show today. He's been good to me, and I believe that we're going to have a good conversation today. And so I'm telling you, we're here to talk about entrepreneurship and getting started. And I have some young people who are here with me today who are ready to have that kind of conversation. Not only the government, but also the church. We are here to encourage our young people, especially, to get involved in entrepreneurship, getting involved in their own businesses. You don't have to work the 9 to 5 and be a slave for someone, but you can be that honest individual that opens up your business and get things going and be a blessing to someone else. So we are encouraging everybody in entrepreneurship and getting started today. Listen, so I have four wonderful, wonderful young people who made that great step out there to go out there and start their business. And I'm telling you, these guys have been successful. They've been great in their aspect and what they're doing. And so first of all, I'm going to just mention their names, and then I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves and their businesses. So listen, I have with me the great, the one and only. He has been a guest on our show before. None other than the great Deacon Lavelle Simmons. That's him. Deacon Lavelle Simmons is with us today. Come on, let's give him a round of applause. Yeah, and then we got with us none other than the great Ashleigh Thompson of the Song Dove. The Song Dove, she's with us. We got the most intelligent Lacretia Johnson with us. We're glad to have each and every one of you. And none other than the greatest of them all, the stylish, the most beautiful, the one who knows all the clothing lines and everything about out there. None other than Sharina Butler. These are four wonderful young people who have engaged in being entrepreneurs and putting their business out there, and they've been successful. And so they're going to share their story with us today, and I want you to listen up. They're going to give us some pointers on how we can get started, how we can push through our failures, how we can celebrate our successes, and how we can help others to become great entrepreneurs. So I'm going to ask them to introduce yourselves, beginning with Lavelle Simmons. Go right ahead, introduce yourself, talk about your business for the first 2 minutes, and everybody will get an opportunity to just talk about your business. Go right ahead. Unmute your mic.
Good evening to all. Sorry about that. My name is Lavelle Simmons, owner, founder of Vision Productions, now known as Vision Productions Group Limited. Vision Productions is a full production company that caters to sound, lighting, and the entire production entity of anything that you could. We do graphics, videos, you name it. Our motto is we bring your dreams to reality. So we're here to cater to the entire production of what you need.
Good job. So Lavelle is an audiovisual business, and they've been a successful company, Vision Productions. Their name is getting out there. And so we invited them to show the talk along that line and how we got the company to where it is today and how they're so successful. Then we have the great Ashleigh Thompson. Go ahead, Ashleigh, introduce yourself, talk about your business for a couple of minutes. Go right ahead.
Good night, everyone. My name is Ashleigh Thompson. I know most of you know me as the worship leader, but your girl could cook as well. I am the owner of Ash Food Haven. We are a catering and a private chef company. So what we do for you is if you have an event, we come and we prepare the food, we drop off. We also do private chef, where we come to your home, prepare the meal for you. Also, we even have cooking lessons now. So if you don't know how to cook or you want to learn how to prepare your favorite meal, we are here to help you do that. And, food is where it's at. Everybody got to eat. And so that is my baby, Ash Food Haven. And I don't call it a small business. I call it a big business. So that's me, Ash Food Haven.
Good job. Listen, Ashleigh, I was looking, my wife and I, our birthday was on the 9th and on the 12th of this month. If I remember, I could have you come along instead of me going
Yeah,
to Twisted Lime. I could have called
exactly.
Ashley to come by me and cook up a good meal. Ashley,
Yes.
I will not forget you. I got to make that up to you. So let's give a
Yes.
round of applause for Ash Haven. Good job. Good job. Listen, we have the great Lacretia Johnson. She's here with us today. Lacretia, go right ahead, introduce yourself and talk about your business and what it is you offer.
Hi, good night, everyone. My name is Lacretia Johnson, and I am the owner of Four Winds Consultancy. I am in the human resources field, and so Four Winds Consultancy, we offer human resources services from payroll, HR administration, recruitment, career coaching, payroll, whatever HR is, that's who we are. And so the reason why I went into the field is because there's a greater demand for contractual work. And also with HR, I really love to develop employees. And so this is my passion, and I'm just grateful to do what I love to do.
Good. Well, Lucretia, let me tell you something. That is my passion as well. That is actually what my master's degree is in, human resources development. And so I understand your passion. I understand what you feel. I like the developing of people. And so that's a great area to be in. It's a growing area. And listen, anytime you need some human resources help, contact Lucretia and Four Winds Consultancy. That's good. So listen, here we have the model of the year, the greatest when it comes to fashion, none other than Sharina Butler. Sharina Butler is on with us. Sharina, unmute yourself. Go ahead, introduce yourself, and talk about your business for the next minute or two.
What an awesome introduction. Excuse the background, our power went out. But my name is Sharina Butler, and I am the owner of Just Brands Designer Wear. And Just Brands Designer Wear is exactly that. We carry every different name brand, not every, but most different name brands under one umbrella. And the latest everything we try to keep up with when it comes to fashion and styles. That's basically only men now. For right now, it's only men. We only cater to the men's there for right now at this time.
Good, good. So listen, we have a mixture of businesses here, and we want to talk to you. But before we get into talking about your businesses some more, listen, I wanna find out something. What triggered the entrepreneurial spirit in you? What caused you to make this step? So I'm gonna ask Lucretia and Sharina to share with us what caused you to want to get into entrepreneurship. You know, a lot of us, you know, when we were growing up, especially with us, you know, mommy and daddy say, get your job. You got to get a job, got to go to work 9 to 5. But if you look at the atmosphere and environment today, everybody's encouraging entrepreneurship, starting your own business. So let's start with Lucretia. Lucretia, so what was it that triggered that entrepreneurial spirit in you? What caused you to step out and do it on your own?
Well, Chad, I would say it's really in my blood because my grandparents, they were entrepreneurs. My grandfather, Arthur Maycock, he actually started the oldest well-known driving company, driving license company, Maycock's Driving School.
Okay.
And my uncle, he actually has been within that company for over 45 years. He's
Wow.
taken over it. And so, you know, seeing him and my uncle and my grandmother, she was also an entrepreneur. She was very gifted with cooking. And, you know, I used to help her along. And my parents, they're also entrepreneurs. My mom, she had a successful snack food business for 12 years. And my dad, he is also still striving in his business. And I'm also surrounded by a lot of entrepreneurs in my circle. And so being surrounded by entrepreneurs, and also I never always wanted to work a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life.
Right.
You know, it's
Right.
good, you know, whoever have to do it, you know, do it. I would never discourage anybody from leaving a 9 to 5. Do what you have to do because that's your lane. But this is the lane that God has directed me to. And, you know, I had to take advantage of the push that God was pushing me into. He was pushing me
Okay.
more into entrepreneurship.
That's good. That's good. So there are two things two ideas that came to mind when you started to speak. You talk about you couldn't miss it because of family. So that speaks to the generational thing. You know, us
Yeah.
teaching our children them teaching their children and them teaching their children about how you can own your own business and do your own thing. And then you said God, you mentioned God in the midst of it all. And so I think with those two things, you really can be successful in what you're doing, especially because it's something that, with me, we're encouraging our son now, we ask him to think about something that he wants to do. And he came up with an idea. And right now we're looking into investing into it for him, just to give him that push as an entrepreneur, that he doesn't have to work for someone 9 to 5 every day. And so probably we as parents or grandparents could begin to inject this into our kids or our grandkids, so that it'd be something that we can continue to do as a family, and it continues to go on and on. And so that's good, Lacretia. That's a good reason for it to trigger. It's a generational trigger, and that's very good. I appreciate that. And I guess you're going to pass this on to your kids whenever you have the opportunity.
Yeah, so all I could do is plant the seed, but it's no pressure, whatever they want to do.
Right.
Just as my family did for me, they planted the seed, and if I wanted to grow it, then fine.
Yeah, you got to water it. Yeah.
Right, but there was no pressure as to if I wanted to work professionally 9 to 5 or on my own. And so I'm very grateful that my family were very supportive of my decision to launch it on my own. And they definitely helped the startup to be a little more easier with their support.
Good. That's good. That's really good. So listen, we have Sharina Butler. She may have a different story. Sharina, let us know what triggered it in you. What caused you to step out? You decided that, look, I'm not going to be working 9 to 5 anymore. I'm going to try it on my own and see how this works. Let us know what caused you to step out on your own.
Well, something like Lacretia's situation, but the difference is, I think I came out of my mother's womb hustling. That's the best way I could put it. From the time I can think of myself, and I mean go way back, I have always thought of different ways to make money, to always flip something different, from selling underwears to slippers to even buying the big 50-pound sack of gold peppers and selling it, going to the convenience stores and asking them if they wanted to buy them off of me. And I mean, any way you could think about, which was a good way to flip something, I was always flipping something. And I'm sure if I kept up in most of them, they probably would have been lucrative business by now. In the same category, I don't think I was born to be in a 9 to 5. Like she said, there's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5. Every job I've ever had I would walk into waiting as a line staff and always end up in some kind of managerial position. In jobs I've never even qualified for, God has put me in managerial position every last job. And so I know I was born to step out and be my own leader, my own boss. And so from me teaching and learning and training so many other persons, I was able to do that, put that within me. Just Brands was birthed out of COVID. It was birthed out of COVID. I was working at Atlantis at the time, management again. I was in housekeeping manager. Didn't know nothing about housekeeping, but I was management. Just during the time, my husband was in construction also, and the both of us had just stopped working. And for some reason, I always tell persons, Just Brand is like the heavens open up and this business was placed in my lap. In a time when everything was shut down, I'm in my car selling clothes. When there's nowhere to go, I'm going from one end of the island to the next, just selling clothes. And I just found fall in love with it. It was a love and a passion I had for it afterwards. And I started off with 25 sets, 25 pieces of items. And eventually I started to invest more. And I moved from pushing about 25 items every 2 weeks to pushing over 100 items in a month. And it became more of a thing for me where I started to love what I do. And so I started to study it, and I started to study the fashion, and I started to watch how the trend was focusing and stuff like that. And I made knowledge of my business. And so from then, Just Brands just took off from 0 to 1,000. And I thank God every day for it.
Good. And like I did with Lacretia, I heard you say some things. And one of the things you said, you studied. You got knowledge of your business. And I think that's important to know what it is you're offering. You know what I mean? So you're offering these different, your business is called Just Brands. And that's exactly what you do. You sell Just Brands. So you find all the named items that everybody love, and if you go to Just Brands, you find that's what it is, Just Brands. But you said something else. You look at the latest trends, and so you follow your business. And I think that's one of the most important things, that things switch in the atmosphere when it comes to businesses. And so we have an opportunity to understand what is taking place in that arena of the business, and we follow through with that. And so, Sharina and Lacretia, I appreciate the fact that you let us know that what it is that triggered you. And you said something, Sharina, that stood out to me. You said that from the time you came out of your mother's womb, you were just hustling, you were just flipping things over. And I agree with you. Everybody knows that Sharina, some people we know, Sharina is my family, and I can tell you this is the honest truth with her. From I knew Sharina, this is every time she talked to us about something, she would let us know that she's selling something. And it'll go from one thing to the next. Sharina is selling something. And we would always, support her as best way we can. That's another thing. We need support from family. We need support from the church, and this is why we're here today, to let the church folk know that you don't have to look far to get what you need. We got some people right in the midst of us, some young people who are business entrepreneurs who are able to provide us a service. So we celebrate Lacretia and Sharina today, and all the other entrepreneurs that are with us today, and those that are not with us, for the great work that they're doing in the area of entrepreneurship. So listen, we still have two great individuals with us. We have with us Lavelle and Ashleigh. And Lavelle and Ashleigh, I want you to talk about another aspect. They talked about the getting started and what triggered it. I want you to talk about some of the roadblocks that you met on the way, whether it was finances, whether it was no support, whatever it is. Talk about the roadblocks and how you push through it. So go right ahead, Ashleigh, and just talk for us a moment about the roadblocks you experienced and how you push through it.
Good night again, everyone. First and foremost, being a business owner is hard. It is hard, and it can become a bit discouraging when you, like you said, support, when you don't have the correct support, or you have, small things that might throw you off course and make you feel like, am I really cut out for this? Is this what I'm supposed to do? I'm sure everybody here on this live would have felt that way before. But I know that a major roadblock that I had would have been finances. At first, I was preparing meals for about 20 persons. Everything was good. Everything was cool. I could have handled that. I ensured that I made my profit. But things started to get a bit more active in my business. My name became a little bit more popular, and I wasn't able to secure the capital that I needed. I needed different kinds of equipment. At one point, my oven was sufficient at home because I only was preparing for about 20 persons. Then I got events for 50 people, 100 people, 200 people. And I'm sitting here like, how am I supposed to, where the finances coming from? I'm still a small business. I'm not making that money yet for it. And so I would say that was one of my roadblocks in this whole process. So what I've done now is I've connected. I believe that connection is so important in being a business owner. So I've connected with persons that are able to assist me with the rental of kitchens or equipment. And I've just had to rearrange some things to make it work. But in all of it, I'm grateful because God is still at work. Even when I felt like, things were going a bit haywire, He still gave me the business. He still gave me the name. And at the end of the day, my events were covered. I was able to prepare the food that was needed. And everything came back with, everything was good. So I'm grateful all in all. So finances would have been my major roadblock during this whole process.
Yeah, that's most people. I would believe that most people would say that finances is the one thing that people get when it comes to a roadblock in developing their business. And some cases you don't want to go to banks to get a loan and have that over your head. You don't want to let people know that you need to borrow this money from them. There's so many other things, but when you have a passion for this business, you will do what you need to do to get it off the ground. And there are so many ways that you can do that. But before we go into that, I want Lavelle to share a story. What kind of roadblocks did you meet? You're in the audio visual business, that calls for a lot of equipment. That calls for bringing in equipment. That calls for a lot of different aspects when it comes to a business. Tell us exactly some of the roadblocks that you encountered.
Well, yes. like Ashley said, finances is one of the greatest roadblocks that you might encounter, especially when you're starting with a pocket or you don't choose to go to the bank for a major loan because you don't want that over your head. Then you have one of my biggest roadblocks would have been distributors. Actually finding reliable persons to actually get equipment from that you know you can need, that's not going to cost you an arm and a leg at the same time. Uh, you know what you want, but then again, where to find it, and especially in the technology world, things are quite expensive and costs rise and fall every time. So trying to find that right distributor and person to get from was one of the major roadblocks. Some people would have said, well, just go to the states and look at the state. And I would encourage anybody to explore different avenues than just going to the USA and looking at equipment. Do your research on what you're getting, even down to China, where we say everything is cheap. If you do your research using those type of avenues, you would find that you could get good, reliable equipment that you almost could actually design yourself and put together yourself, put your name on it, and do so many other things with it, and actually make it yours. I didn't find that out until later on down after talking to a person, another person that was inside business, and they encouraged me to, if I can explore the avenue, fully explore it and be unique in it. So that was one of them. I'm thankful for it, and I'm thankful for the connections that was created through it.
Good. And so, two things I've taken away from both of you is we're talking about distributors, where you get your equipment from, where you get your items from, and also the connections and the relationship. Connections and relationship is important when it comes to business. Having the right distributors, like Lavelle said, is important. Where you get your items from, having good quality, and I believe that each one of you can speak to this point. Lacretia and Sharina, let's talk about relationships, and then let's talk a little bit after. We're going to talk a little about distributors and getting your items and getting good quality. So, Lacretia, what do you think about connections and relationships? Now, I know when it comes to relationship, sometimes you get them and you got to cut them. Sometimes you get them, they don't work out. So let's talk about the relationship when it comes to business and networking and getting more people involved. All right, Ed.
Yes, relationships, very, very important. And especially as a consultant, it's extremely important. It's needed, it's vital. You can't really survive without it. And so actually having the right connections was what helped my startup to be a little easier, because I was able to speak with trusted people, about my vision, and I was able to ask them certain questions of, what worked for them when they started their business, and I guess certain things that they do now that's successful, and whatever advice they had for me, and being able to get vital information from them. It helped me to be more at ease when I started my business, and also having the right connections. It helped to even grow my business because I get referrals. All right.
Okay.
And also with the type of business I have as consulting, I not only network with a lot of other HR professionals, but some of my colleagues, if I'm not able to handle a certain project on my own, we collaborate. All right. And so that's very important. So that's why I'm saying networking is no way you can survive without networking.
Right.
And once you are able to even do well with your services, once you have that connection with your client could also refer to someone else. And so it goes all around, from your inner circle to professional, family, whatever case it is. Relationships are important because each part, it really plays in some way on how your business thrives. Because sometimes you might need that emotional support. If you're not, like Ashleigh said, sometimes you might feel like, okay, am I really cut out for this? Because business is seasonal as well. You'll have your peaks, then you'll have those moments when you're like, okay, God, you need to come through. You tell me to do this. So you need that emotional support at times from friends and family who believe in you and who know what's in you and what God told you to do. All right. And then and it's also with a mentor. I had a mentor who was able to help guide me, because people who are in the game longer than you, they can help you to not take certain steps that they didn't have to take if they knew.
Right.
All right.
Right.
And so therefore, all these different type of relationships, all of them play a part in your success.
That's good. And so I'm going to come back to Lavelle and Sharina when we talk about distributors and quality of product and all that. But Ashleigh, what about you? I'm sure in your type of business, connection and relationship is important. Let's hear what you have to say about connections and relationship when it comes to your business and how you'd have gone about, making those connections and how that may have worked for you, or how some may have worked against you, because not all connections are good.
I agree. All connections are not good. My business field there's a lot of chefs, a lot of cooks. During the pandemic, everybody had a food shack open up. Everybody was cooking. So we have the people who could cook, the people who can't cook, and the people who think they could cook. So it has been a journey with even finding honest people who want to help you, because everybody isn't trying to push your business. So what I have done is I discern people. And so I have two chefs that would have took me under their wing, and they were basically the persons that I've always connected with to get advice from, because I was under them. So they are more or less protecting their treasure, who they kind of developed. And so connections are so important, because I connected with a chef before, and listen, a major problem, because even though he was doing better than I was, he did not want my little business to flourish. And so that there was something that I had to pick up instantly. And I said, okay, you're not good for me. Thank you for your advice, but I will lean more to something that feels a bit more genuine and a bit more comfortable. And so I've just been praying about connections, because that has been what has been moving my business forward thus far. Sometimes I would have broken even, or I would have not even made the money that I wanted to make, the profit that I wanted to make, but the connections of who was in the room, who tried the food, and who said, who was that girl, or who did that food. And so sometimes, and I'm encouraging anybody who has a business, sometimes you might not make that money, you might not make that profit, but it's the connections and who was in the room. And so continue to push, because I was there. I was like, this don't make no sense. I'm not making the funds that I think I need to make after doing all this hard work, after prepping, after shopping, after delivering, after cooking, after cleaning. I'm like, it have to be more to this. But it came to a point where God told me it's about your connects and who is in the room and who is going to ask for you. And so that is very important, to connect yourself with godly people who want to push you and your business.
Good. So I like what you said about the connections. Who is for you? Who is against you? Some people are just not good for your business. You need to recognize that. I know some people may know my brother and I, we had a restaurant one time ago called Entrepreneurship. We did well for a period of time, and at some point, things started to go crash land and crashed. And so it didn't go well, but it was good. But we realized that some connections didn't work. Some things didn't work for us. But you may not believe it, but up to this period, this present time, people are still asking for entrepreneurs for whatever reason. So there's something that we offer. The product that we offered is still in the minds of the people. And so it's something that we could bounce back to or bounce back from. And so I believe that's the greatest thing, your service, the quality of your service, the quality of what you offer. And I see that, Lavelle and Sharina, out of all of us, they look like they, they really benefit from bringing in items out from other countries, connecting with distributors. I want them to talk about that and how, this one worked, that one didn't work, this country worked, that country didn't work. Some people were dishonest, customs duties and all these other things that work against you. So Sharina, let's talk about the distributors and the connections outside of the business, outside of the church, outside of the country that help our business to work, but sometimes not help it to work.
Well, when I first got started, um, my very first investment, I got scammed. My
Wow.
very first products that I went to buy, it was a scam.
Wow.
I took a chance with the vendor. I never knew I didn't know who it was, but you know what? She was sending me all of these information, sending me pictures, sending me FedEx receipts that she did this and she sold me. Got me? She sold me that everything was legit. And bear in mind now, I'm buying things from another country. And so I only can go by as much evidence as you could prove to me that you legit. And so this is before I really started doing my homework after the fact. So she was sending me all the videos and everything was copy paste. And so I thought it was enough proof for me to say, you know what, let me send her this money. And when I did it, the next day I'm calling them. So what about the tracking number now? No reply. What about this? No reply. I tell you,
Wow.
I started message until she finally blocked me.
Wow.
Went on a Facebook page. She blocked me off of that too. She disappeared. So I had no way, because like I said, because the money transfer was through Western Union, I had no way of getting back my funds. I had no way to say it was a fraudulent account or whatever the case may be. So yes, I did buck my toe the very first time out of the gate. And I can be honest with you, it was like a peace about it. I wasn't angry, I wasn't upset about it, and it was like a peace over me about it. And normally, for persons who know me, I can go from 0 to 1,000, but I didn't. And it was kind of like all I could hear was scared money don't make money. Scared money don't make money. You know what? And if something ended up happening, whereas I ended up bucking another vendor 2 days later, just showed up. And that's why I tell you, God is do some amazing things. I guess he wanted to see us how bad I wanted this. Are you going to stop right here after your first fall, or are you going to keep
Right.
going?
Right.
And 2 days later, another vendor popped up. And I'm like, now you see, Lord, COVID then closed down. This is the last of my $2. Scared money don't make money, but right now that's the last of my $2. And you know something? I went for it again. And this time I spent more with this vendor than I did with the other one. And I asked for less evidence from him than I did from the first one. And I went ahead and I did for it, and it took off, and it was a go. And so I started to work with him. We built a relationship. And again, everything is trial and error, because he was a middleman. He shopped from different manufacturers. So whatever I sent him, I wasn't sure about the product that was going to come in, how the product actually was. Everything was trial and error. I had to learn about who all manufacturer carry the best products, who did the flimsy work. My products don't come out of China. None of my clothing I don't do China. None of my products comes out of China. Nothing's wrong with China, but none of my clothes come out of China. But I had to find out which manufacturer sells the top quality, which manufacturer sells originals, which manufacturers don't. And I had to do that through keep on connecting with different vendors and building a relationship with my main vendor, whereas he was honest with me, because he will go into these stores. He'd be like, you know what? Don't buy it. The quality sucks.
Right.
Go for it. I like this quality. And that is how I had to do. And so we built that relationship together. So if I can encourage anybody with any business, build a relationship with your vendor. They're going to be the ones who can bail you out of so many things if you don't have cash on hand. If you have that relationship, they
Right.
learn how to trust you, because the
Okay.
new vendor who I'm with now, we have an awesome relationship. It's so awesome till I'll pick up the phone if I hear from him 2-3 days. Hey, calling to check up on you. What's going on with the kids? How are they? That's the relationship we now have. And so it's good because he now trusts me to a level, whereas, you know what, I'll send you your products. When you get a chance, you can send me my funds. And that works because not all the time you will have that cash money on hand. And like Ashleigh, the lady who sells the food, yeah,
Yes.
like if you, even if you were to build something like her, persons who are in the restaurant field, build a vendor with the distributors, the food market distributors, whereas you go on credit. And once you keep that good credit going, you can go like 2-3 months without even having to actually pay anything. So you always want to build that relationship with your vendor. Build that relationship with your vendor. They're going to be your best friends. They will make your business and they will break your business. And then everybody else will follow behind.
Good.
So
Good.
that's the best advice I can give.
Yeah, man, that's good. That's good. I like everything that you said to us, and I like that you shared your story that the first time you tried it out, it didn't go well, and you didn't give up, and that's the most important thing. That's what we're trying to say to everyone here today. You don't have to give up. Keep pushing. If you know that that's your passion, you know that that's the idea God gave you. You can see it working, and it's on the inside of you, ready to push. Keep pushing until you get it done. So Lavelle, I'm sure you have some information you could give to us when it comes to items. I think I've heard one or two of Lavelle's stories about stuff that he brought in and it didn't work out, and how he got to continue trying. And so Lavelle, share with us about distributors and having that relationship with those persons out there.
New businesses is definitely a trial and error, especially when it comes down to products and what you have in that. Uh, like sure, my first one didn't work out as quite as good as. Also, uh, I went and everything looked right, everything looked solid, money is and was not. And but my problem was with the bank at the time that I dealt with. You had a lot of scam and frauds and was not. So the bank started to pull back as a, I guess they call it protection. And I did the wire transfer. First time ever doing wire transfer. Didn't even know what the
Right.
cost is for wire transfers, how it's gonna go, like is it extra money, all kind of things I did. It was back and forth with the banks and was not trying to get these funds to uh, the supplier. Uh, they said it went through and they deny it. I did not get the money back
Wow.
from the bank. This was basically almost all of my savings.
Sheesh.
So I saved up again. And at that point, you would really feel discouraged to say, well, hey, this ain't for me. Like, that's that stop right there. That's a sign. But at that point, it was that urge where I said, go at it again. And I went at it again. But this time I met a guy. I met somebody who was in business, and I started to. I don't even know how the connection really happened, but out of the clear blue sky, this person came and he was able to advise me, okay, what to do. You don't go to this bank here because this is what they're gonna do.
Mhm.
This is the charges they're going to put on you, and wake it this way. So I followed his direction. I had to pray about it because I mean at that time, it was just like fear, but at the same time, you still trusting that this. My motto at the time was trusting the process. So I had to trust every part of what I was doing at that time.
Right.
Uh, I went through it, and it finally came. It went through, money came through, was not. Shipping. Shipping ended up into about 3 to 4 months. So I thought I get scammed again because the shipping didn't reach. Had we had a function coming up that these stuff was supposed to be used for, and it didn't look like things was happening. Like it didn't look like it was going to reach in time. But what I only can say is only God God had it that it came just in time for that function and was not. And it was trial and error with that. I went from uh, like I said, China. I tried the China market. I tried the US market. I tried them all. Uh, and in trial and error, I was able to know what to buy from that market and what not to buy from that market. I was able to know what I had to buy from the US market in terms of quality and don't I wouldn't advise, especially in starting out, if you don't buy in such a big bulk, but try it out first. Test your products. Even you have sometimes where you could ask for products to be sent. Ask for your products to be sent. See how it is. See what the quality is. Take that through the ropes, and at the end of the day, you want to be able to stand behind your products. And if it is so good, like Sharina say, establish that relationship with your distributors that if you want to customize your products, you are able to customize your product and make it yours. Make it unique. That is something different from what other persons are offering. So that was my
Wow. Yeah. So everybody has a relationship connection story here, and I'm so glad. So just for this is a quick commercial break. This live is brought to you live today by Four Winds Consultancy, by Just Brands, by Ash Haven, and also by Vision Productions. These are four great young people that are with us today. And this show is brought to you live sponsored by them and also the Church of God of Prophecy. And I want you to know that we are encouraging you to shop with these young people, get hooked up with these young people, and let you know you want the best in human resources. You got Lacretia, the best in clothing. You got Sharina, the best in food and cooking. You got Ashleigh, and the best in audio visual. You got Lavelle Simmons. God bless each and every one of you. Our conversation is not finished. But listen to me. What I want everybody to do, to any business that is out there that you know that just needs a blessing right now, any business that you know that's out there, just put their names in the group, in the chat, whether it be on Facebook and YouTube. We encourage you to go along with that. I got a few businesses that I can think of. I got Artist Live. My wife is involved in Artists. We have Excel Christian Academy back there in Grand Bahama. What else do we got here? I think we have Bubba's Fish Fry back in Grandmama, all the way in 8 Mile Rock. Listen, just follow their pages. Everybody has a page, correct? Everybody got a page? Good. Just follow their pages, and I'm telling you, you can get the best and everything that you want. That's right. Big them up. These are young people. Big them up. Big them up. Big them up. Be good. So listen, guys, we're not done. I want to talk about something else. So guys, did any one of you had to access any organization, had to access anything that was being offered by the government to help you to push your business? I know a lot of people are offering things out there. Maybe one or two can share with us if you have accessed any organization or anything that has been placed out there for young people to push their businesses. Maybe you can help us out with one or two things that you probably access. I know Sharina had shared a story with me before. Maybe Sharina and anyone else can tell us about something that you access or what is helping you to build your business. Anything out there, just go right ahead and share it with us, so those out there with businesses can know that these are places they can go to help them to push their business.
Okay, so when it comes to funding, that is, love that. There is so much funding out there to get if you really want it. Mm-hmm. If you really, really want it, there is a lot of funding out there. And there's actually a lot of businesses that you don't even need funding to even start up. Not your personal money. You don't even need funding to even start up. Let me start off with the government. I know I say something like that, a lot of persons get into it's who you know, or it's they do people, it's a favor thing. If you're going with that mindset, don't bother. That's off the bat, because you're trying to sabotage your own self before you can even get it. The government has a agency called the SBDC, Small Business Development Center. The SBDC, and let me first say this, I'm a disclaimer. I don't work for none of these agencies. I'm just sharing the information. The SBDC is there to either give you three types of loans. You can get a grant, you can get a loan, or you can get equity once you apply. The grant is money you don't pay back. The government gives that to you. The loan is the government basically backs you up when you go to the bank as collateral. And equity is shares that persons they get to actually buy into your business, whereas eventually you can buy it back. Small Business Development Center, they you can do the courses. They allow you to take up courses with them. Whereas it's a 2 weeks course. I think it's like 3 days out of the week or something like that. Whereas they actually help you from scratch on telling you how about to start your business, what all you need, see if your idea is, and they actually assign you to someone basically like a counselor who follows with you straight through, depending on what is it that you want. They have already funded persons up to $500,000 for $100,000. You have ever heard about the ice cream Shiver? I think Shiver received about $250,000 from them in loans actually for that one. But it's so many things that the government's already put in place. Me personally can speak from experience with one of the grants from them. I received a grant when they did the tech grant. I put in for the tech grant, and the tech grant was basically for me to get my website because I couldn't do technical. I don't do technical work, but I need a web page because eventually I wanted to get into drop shipping. And so I put in for the tech grant, and the tech grant was awarded up to like $5,000. So with that, I was approved and was able to have now my online web page. My web page was built by the government. I didn't have to pay for it. It was built by the government. And so now I take credit cards online. I do online transfers, and anybody from any part of the world can actually shop with me. And I already have an account set up into the computer where I'm set up with FedEx. So FedEx, I already have an account set up at FedEx. FedEx can ship it out, everything. Okay. And like I said, the government funded my webpage. Now, for persons who are not into getting into all of the genre of it, of going and applying for it, another thing which just came out, and I'm like, wow, BTC. As simple as this is, BTC has $100 package. I think it's like $100. I know it's $100 that you pay for deposit, but they have $100 package, whereas you can get your unlimited minutes on your phone, plus they give you internet, and they design your web page for you. They will also manage your web page, and anybody knows about web page management, you can spend about $200-300 a month on web page management. And that is something, if you have something out there, you're going to spend a lot of money on dealing with a web page management. So BTC offers this package, whereas they manage your web page for free. No matter what products you have, they put it on, they upload it, they take it down, they do whatever you want them to do. For one full year, it's only $100 a month. Wow. After that, it's be like $109 because now you're paying the $9 extra for the web page management. You can imagine now paying from $250 to $300 to only doing $9 a month for somebody to manage your website. And for young persons who are interested in getting to something and have absolutely no money, drop shipping, another way. As long as if you can sign up with BTC and get yourself a website, drop shipping is the next era for you. And a lot of persons don't know what drop shipping is. Drop shipping basically is you can copy paste. Drop shipping is if you want to sell things like accessories, slippers, tennis, any items like that. Find yourself a good vendor. Ask your vendor to send you products that they have with the prices. You're going to now take those products, post it to your website. Post it to your website. And then whatever their price is, you add your profit margin. They pay for the product. You make a phone call and they ship it out. So you just got paid to make a phone call. The beauty of drop shipping. And so that is two things. Another thing is what I love, Ministry of Finance. That's one of my best people. Love Ministry of Finance. They are the best. Ministry of Finance has right now duty-free exemption thing going on. Whereas if you're just opening a business, once your business is under 3 months, you can bring in everything for that business duty-free. Everything for that
Wow.
business duty-free.
Wow.
Once your business license is under 3 months.
Wow.
So even if you're going to open up a store or you're going to bring in items, you bring in everything once you get all of your quotes and stuff like that. But the one thing about all of these things, you must have a business license. And before people get discouraged about business license, let me give you the trick about that too. Business license is free. Once your business is under $100,000 a year, and if you have a startup, if it's under 100,000, your business license will be free. You don't have to have a physical store to get a business license or to apply for any of these things. You can actually apply for business license under home base, put in for your grants, put in for your exemption under that same home base license. And when your products come in, buy your store.
Wow.
And then have your business license change over into change of location, change of revenue. I mean, Shaun, it's called change of location. Sorry about that. And that's it. The exemption for them, because in order for you to go through a Ministry of Finance, you're going to need a business license to get the exemption. You're going to need that
Right.
first. If you're a person that wants to do delivery, if you're doing delivery, or you want to open up a food van or something like that, your delivery car, van or delivery bus or stuff like that, you can bring that in also duty free. Duty free. All
Good.
you have to do is send Ministry of Finance, upload it again, send Ministry of Finance that information, and they will give you a letter to take to your shipping company. Whereas, now, don't get me wrong, now there's a difference between duty and taxes. You're going to still pay your taxes. You're going to still have to pay that. That 10%, you're going to pay that. But you just save a ton of money on that duty. I'd rather pay the 10% than the 60 or 45%.
Right.
Okay. Persons who
Wow.
have clothing stores and shoe stores, duty free again. Duty free. Every
Wow.
6 months, you can renew renew your exemption with the Ministry of Finance, duty free again. And so there are, the avenue is so endless. I don't have
Well,
time.
Sharina, that's all what you give us just now. I mean, everybody here can open up a business and just fly with it. With the information you just gave, man, listen, we appreciate you, man, because I'm sure everybody who's here, who's on with us, and probably some of our guests did not know all of the information that you're giving us. And I mean, this is great information. I'm sure we got some people, Lacretia said in the chat, she ready to open up another business with all this information you're giving her right now. And so we're glad to know all this information, man. Good stuff. Listen, take this information down and get out there. You have a passion. There are avenues, there are ways for you to do business, to become an entrepreneur. It's everything is Sharina's given you. It's right there. But listen, I want to talk to each and every one of you about something though. How you chose what you chose to be in, like the passion that you had. How did you know that was the business? Help people understand how do they choose the business that they're in. Lacretia, you said something earlier about the human resources business. It was your passion. You know what I mean? Encourage these people that you just don't go into business just because you want to go into business. Let them know it has to be something that you love. Because if you love it, right? If I'm right, you're not going to give up on it. So, I want each one of you to talk about that aspect, loving what you do. You can start with Lacretia on that point.
Okay, so my passion for HR is so amazing because when I was studying in college, I wanted to be an educator. And education is also in my blood. I have a lot of teachers in my family. But when I actually started in the workforce, I wanted something that suited more my personality. I'm a big people person. I love helping people. I love working in administration. I love coaching. I love mentoring. I love training. I love a lot of stuff what HR is. And so after a while, I had to really think about, the field that I would love that doesn't feel like work for me. and HR does not feel like work for me. I was
Right.
doing this even before I was fully compensated for it. I could
Right.
do it for free, really. And so in most fields that that people are in, medicine field, the HR field, the education field, you have to love that to be
Right.
in that.
Right. And
You
love
don't love
people.
that, especially all educators. If you don't love that, you're not going to be in it for a long time. And just as with HR, you have to be a people person. You have to be someone who is able to relate, someone who's able to understand, someone who looks beyond. It's not just about enforcing rules and it's more than that. And I wanted to be a different type of HR person. Wherever I go, I want to bring impact.
Mm-hmm.
And it's evident wherever I go, because when I leave, people are always talking about me. And I wanted HR to be seen in a different way, because a lot of people, when they think of HR, they always think of someone who's going to reprimand, someone who's always just on the side of management, someone who isn't confidential. And I want to be the opposite of what everybody think of what HR is. And I'm happy that I have the opportunity to showcase that. And the reason why I took that and created my business, because I wanted to do things more on my own terms. And so I could have also exposure to different environments. So I won't say get bored, but I just wanted to impact more environments. That's what I would say. And also COVID has shown that there's more of a demand for contractual work. There are a lot of businesses who desire to have people who offer HR services, but they don't really need them full time. They just need them for project work, and even some smaller clients, they just need some guidance or some help with certain work. And so that's why I entered my field. Not really my field, but I entered the business to be more of a consultant. So I love what I do. And Chad, like you said, it's so important to love what you do, because when you're in those moments when it feels so hard, you have to
Right.
remind yourself, okay, I'm doing this because of this purpose. And so once you think of that, it kind of helps you to push forward instead of just, remaining in that moment. So if you don't love what you do, you're gonna quit quicker. So make sure you're passionate about what you do. And also, if my advice also, if you're interested in business, do your homework. It's like Ashley said, business is not having a business is not easy. It's hard, especially in the beginning when you're not sure how things are going to unfold. You don't know certain things. You have to be able to make yourself vulnerable to ask questions. Don't be prideful. You're not going to know it all. Connect with people who know certain things. If you have to get an accountability partner, do that. But you have to put pride aside to also succeed in the business. And so that's one of the tips I will give to some people
Right.
who are trying to start up.
Right. Good. Ashleigh, what about you? Share some stuff about getting into business. I know, loving it. And I want to add something here, Ashleigh. And I guess with all of us, we're in ministry. Sharina's in the church. Lavelle is in the church. Lacretia, and we all play roles in the church. And Ashleigh, I want you to talk about also balancing this stuff along with your entrepreneurial side. How do you balance it with ministry? We don't want to leave ministry out of it, because God has done this for us. And we recognize that God has done this for us. But how do we balance ministry and being an entrepreneur and getting our business running at the same time?
That's a great question. Well, firstly, I'll say cooking has always been a passion for me. I can remember being young, watching my grandmother cook. She never really let me do much. She used to let me grate the cheese and do them peas. Didn't like them peas, nah. But I did what I had to do, but that was my foundation. And as time went by, she allowed me to do certain other things in the kitchen. As I grew up in school, I always loved food and nutrition. I was sent off from my school to do competitions. That love grew deeper. I went off to COB to
You use a big
um,
time cook.
Yeah, so I could do a little something. I went to COB to pursue culinary arts. While I was in COB, I was working at Government House, and that was basically
Wow.
my foundation. Working under the executive chef, and he literally helped me step by step on how to do this cooking thing for real on a gourmet level. And so this has been something that I've always loved, and having a food business is not easy because you have to do everything for yourself. So I have to do the quotes, I have to do the shopping, I
Right.
have to do the prep, I have to
Hmm.
do the cooking, I have to do delivery, and I have to do the cleanup. And I do
Wow.
that all over again if I have a client the next day. So this has to be something that you love because you ain't about to do that. Some people has asked me, how do you do it? And I love it. And so I don't even feel it sometimes, even though
Right.
I am busted. And then that brings us to ministry. I am a worship leader at my church. Um, and I'm also involved in a lot of singing groups. And so I'm very active
Right.
in church.
Right.
And so sometimes I am drained, I am extremely tired. But I believe that if God has given me the opportunity to do the job, He's going to give me the strength to do it. And so having persons around that will encourage you is important because they speak life into you and they remind you of the promises of God, the fact that He gave you this gift and He's not going to give you too much that you cannot handle. And so I keep that at the back of my mind as to why I'm doing it, who I'm doing it for, and the fact that this is God's plan. You know what I mean? And I have been cooking for good couple of years now, and I'm getting a hang of this. I'm getting a hang, and I'm very excited on where my business is heading. God is great. He has placed amazing people in my life to push me, and ministry is great as well. And so I've just been doing my best in balancing
Right.
both of them.
Right. Right. That's good. So listen, guys, don't give up on your business, but don't give up on God. Um, I can see that we're all excited. Lavelle, I'm going to come to you right now in a minute because I know you play an important role in the audiovisual when it comes to the church. But Sharina, I want you to share with us quickly, before we get to Lavelle about, experience with ministry and your experience with experiencing God in your life and your business. Share with us your story on that. And then Lavelle, I want you to come back in and say how you balance audiovisual out there with your company and audiovisual with the church and working as a police officer.
Okay, so I don't play an actual ministerial role in my church, but the one thing I love that my church has done, they have actually made entrepreneurship a ministry. It's actually a ministry in our church. It's called the
Right.
Boss Network, and the Boss Network basically develops all entrepreneurs in the church. Right now, it's gotten to the point where as we have our own directory, whereas the minute you walk in the church door, there is a long directory on the church wall of all of the entrepreneurs who signed up for the directory,
Hmm.
what their business aim and what their numbers is. Because in the church, we have enough members in churches to support each other.
Right.
And and my biggest thing was that was one of the, I thought that was one of the best things ever to see that your church is pouring back into you,
Right.
growing you, mentoring you, teaching you, growing
Wow.
you up from more than just coming to church, just teaching you just on about the Bible politics, but actually teach you on how to live in this world, how to function, how to not actually, how to be your own boss, how to be actually be the head and not the tail. You get what I'm saying? So
Right.
they actually invest in us and they
Right.
actually teach and monitor and whatever. And I love that. So I'm encouraging different churches who is out there and who's listening, invest in your entrepreneurs in
Members.
your church, your
Right.
members
Right.
in your church.
Right.
Not only the persons who are entrepreneurs, but persons who want to get there. Because if one church isn't full of entrepreneurs, prophecy sure is. Prophecy definitely
Oh
is.
yeah, we got it. We got it.
You get what I'm saying? So invest back into your members, invest back into them and teach them and grow them. Each one teach one. Pull up another
Right.
person with you because the
Yes.
knowledge that I have, I could give to another person who's trying
Yes.
to get to where I'm at. I could stop them from making the same mistakes I made. You get what I'm saying? So that's all I wanted to say. Make it a ministry.
Good
It is
stuff.
a ministry. So make it a
Good.
ministry.
So guess what? Every church of God, a prophecy out there. We encourage you that this is the new ministry, Entrepreneurship 101. We're about to bring that out. And so we love the fact that this is coming out. But Lavelle, we're still talking about balancing and what it is we're doing when it comes to ministry and balancing working. Lavelle is a police officer. Lavelle has his own entrepreneurial company. And Lavelle is actively involved in ministry, audiovisual ministry in his church. How does he do it? Lavelle, let's hear how you do this. How you make this happen.
I would
And
say
nothing suffers. Everything functions.
most definitely balance is very important. Uh, you must know your why. You must keep your whys there. And the good part about one of my whys was it was involved church. One of the main things as to what got me into the business was the fact that I wanted to up the standard as to the way that does productions and audio visuals and what's not. I was doing the world productions, and I see the quality of work and how much they put into a production and the things that they do. And it always triggered me as to why can't this happen for the church? Why can't the church be on this level and on this standard? And I got a chance at one point to actually see that the church was able to do it because
Right.
I saw where I went to a conference in the States that was the church, and the level of production and the level of quality and stuff that they put into that conference was bigger than what I did for any secular arena. And it sparked something in me that that's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to always bring that standard to the church. So when you come to me, don't come looking for the little simple old things when it comes down to church. I hold the church on a high standard in regards of production and the way it's supposed to be done. Uh, Another thing is I always loved the field never bothered me, no matter how much, no matter how much time it took. I used to be out for 5 a.m., 6 o'clock, and I would see where I would be doing work, and it never got like tiresome. The field never it was something that I had passion for. I loved doing. So it wasn't something, if it's something that's gonna tire you, or it's something that is draining you, or you think that it is always draining you, then I'd say that isn't basically the field that you should really look into. But something that brings you joy,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a good love for it, that
Right.
no matter what time you could find yourself, especially business owners find themselves 5, 6 o'clock in the morning and still at a desk or still doing work, when other persons then would say, why are you still up? Yeah, I still up because I doing certain things. I'm making sure the little pieces are put together. And that was one of the things for me, as well as I love the entire uh I would say the end product, to see something from nothing come into a reality of something great and grand. And that is like a joy for me to see, like, you could put a spot what is just dust, and at the end of the day is this big show production with all the lights and the glamour and the glitz and what's not, and is actually running good. It You have to find out what's your why.
Yes.
and why you really went into it, why you really going into it. If you don't find it, then I would say search until you find out what's your why, and you would enjoy what you do. And that's even in ministry. Find it out, and you can't shortcut ministry. I'd say
No.
you can't shortcut
Right.
ministry,
Right.
because even in your why, that's something that God give you. That's a dream. That's a gift that God give you. So you must give back to Him, and knowing that this is your give back. So uh, doing things for the church, and it's a joy, as well as I balance the other people work too.
Actually, thank you, man. Listen, this is a good show tonight. Man, I'm so excited for our young people, man. Look here, everybody out there, just put a hand clap out there for our great young people who are entrepreneurs, stepped out there and they did their best. But we want to come back to our sponsors. We want to thank our sponsors, those sponsors out there that don't want to be named, that has been so good to Let's Talk Church of God of Prophecy Live. We want to thank them. We also have sponsorship from the 101st General Assembly, the International General Assembly that's going on, where our very own Bishop Woodley Thompson, he's going to be speaking on Wednesday night. So we're going to be posting some stuff out there, some links out there, so you'll be able to hear him live. So let's not forget that. But most of all, we just want to thank God for all our young people out there. And once again, I just want you to post a business that you know, a business that is great out there, a business that you know, but just put it inside there. Just put it in the chat. And we're going to be on and give all the best to those persons. Once again, I want to introduce our guests. We got Sharina Butler from Just Brands. I'm going to give each one of them an opportunity to give you their contacts so that you'll be able to contact them. I know we posted it, but sometimes you miss those posts in the chat. So I'm going to give each one of them an opportunity. We got Lacretia Johnson, we got Ashleigh, and we got Lavelle. So take the next couple of minutes and just introduce your business one more time and give them your contacts and let them know the service that you offer. Go right ahead, Lavelle. Start it off. Let the man start it off. Unmute your mic.
Well, my business is Vision Productions Group Limited, and we specialize in the full production. If you want a consultant in doing any type of concerts, expos, programs, what's not, we do that. Sound, light, the special effects, the designs, and what you have, we do that as well. If you want a little video, if you want any direction in that field, a full production, you want somebody to manage it, to steer you in the right direction. This is Vision Productions. We are the company for you, bringing your vision, your dream to reality is what we do.
Right.
So,
Just give them your phone number, Lavelle, if they want to contact you.
you can reach me at 801-3699. 801-3699. Also, I also have a business partner in that you can also reach at 456-2593, who is Malvin Higgs. 456-2593. So there's no excuse if you're in Freeport,
Or
if you're in
Nassau.
Nassau, or
And
any
also the
other
Family
family
Island.
islands, we will come to you. This is Vision.
Yes. Good job, man. Good job. Go ahead, Ashleigh. Let them know who you are, how they can contact you, what you offer.
Good night again, everyone. My name is Ashleigh Thompson. And before I say that, I wanted to make mention of something. Self-care is important, business owners. It is so important because sometimes we get so caught up with work, we forget about ourselves. I know for me, and probably Lavelle, you can relate. The hours, I could be on my feet from 12 plus hours, no rest, no sleep, nothing. And so if you don't take the rest, your body is going to do it. So make sure I take that rest, even physically, mentally. For people like Lacretia and Sharina, you guys might not be on your feet for hours and hours and hours. but that mental break is very important. Make sure I give your clients some notice, let them know, I got to take some time, or I'll be back in a day or two. That is key. So for any other business owner, take that break. Now back to our regular scheduled program. My business is Ash Food Haven. We are a catering and a private chef business. So any kind of cooking need, any kind of cooking lesson, if you need a date night planned out, if you have a baby shower, you need that good baby shower food, some meatballs and macaroni, we could do some gourmet something for you. And so we are the business or the company for you. My Instagram name is ashfood_haven. And my contact is 395 1586. Ashfood_haven 395 1586. So if you want some delish food, I'm your girl. I can hook you up. And that is me.
Good job. Good job. For your best set of meals, call Ashleigh at Ashhaven. She's ready for you. Go ahead, Lacretia. Put your input in, my fellow HR professional. Let's go.
Yes. Thank you, Chad.
Yeah.
So again, I'm Lacretia Johnson, owner of Four Winds Consultancy, and we offer virtual HR services. And so let me just go through the list of stuff that we offer. So it's HR, administration and management, recruitment, performance management, employee engagement, resume writing, interview coaching, policy handbook development, payroll and compensation, training and development, HR analytics, career coaching, the works. Everything with HR, that's what we are about. Okay. And we can be contacted at 825-9283. Again, that's 825-9283. Or you could send an email to connect@fourwindsconsultancy.com.
Good job. Four Winds Consultancy. Don't forget it for all your HR needs. Look for Lacretia Johnson. Lacretia, you're on Facebook and you're on Instagram. You're on any of those. You can be found,
Yes,
right?
I'm on both platforms.
Yeah, actually, good. God bless you, man. And last but not least, let's introduce Just Brand, Sharina Butler. Let us know where we can find you, how we can contact you, and what services you offer.
Yes, Just Brands, JUSTBRANZ, Z, not D. You can find us on Facebook. Everything that we post, everything that we carry in the store, I normally post every photo, every product that we carry in the store. So you can actually go onto our Facebook page and press the photos and see what we have. Most of the stuff might be out of stock. So I suggest that you look from, what month are we in? July? From probably last month on, those are in stock. But again, Just Brands, JUSTBRANZ. We carry designer wears, men. We carry men designer wears, and some items are unisex. I'm gonna be honest. Some items that we carry are unisex. And the number is 806-6857, 806-6857. But if you go onto the Facebook page, all you got to do is hit the WhatsApp button and you get me directly. You don't have to say the number. You just hit the WhatsApp button. And I have my phone in my hand. So Just Brands again with a Z.
Good job. Well, everybody, I'm sorry, but that's the end of our show. But I want to tell you something. We are going to encourage one another. Let's support one another. We've got all the talent, all the business, all the needs that we have in the body of Christ. Let's support one another. And you guys have been great guests. And we thank all of those that have been watching and all of those that posted on our chat, both on Facebook, on YouTube. We want you to look into the chat, go back, and all the business that posted, and let's just support one another, man. Listen, this has been great for me. Lacretia, you've encouraged me. Sharina, Ashleigh, Lavelle, you guys have encouraged me. You've encouraged my family. And we're going to get out there. I think it's time for us to step out. I want everybody to put their stepping out. I'm stepping out. I'm stepping out. I'm stepping out. So that great idea you've been holding on to, now is the time to step out. And I believe we're going to be good. But guess what? We won't end the show without a prayer over all the businesses, all the business ideas. Father, we thank you today for what you have done, what you have posted, what you've let out, the knowledge, the understanding, the wisdom that you've placed in these young people. Father, we thank you for all the ideas that are now manifesting right now in the name of Jesus. We pray, oh God, that they will come true and alive, oh God, by your word, that we can do all things through Christ Jesus. Father, I ask you to bless Visual Productions. I ask you to bless Ashhaven. I ask you to bless Four Winds Consultancy, Just Brands. I ask you, oh God, to bless them in a special way. We thank you for this platform that has been used, oh God, to show that our young people, oh God, they are not all bad, but there are some good out there. There's some intelligent and great young people that are doing some great things. But all the businesses out there that need an injection of your spirit, an injection of your power and your might, Lord, we pray in the name of Jesus for expansion and innovation and more ideas. And we understand and know that there's nothing that we cannot do without you. So we lean not unto our own understanding, but in all our ways we acknowledge you today. Bless those businesses that are being thought of even right now. And I pray, oh God, that fear will not be their portion, but that boldness. I pray that finances will come to them unexpectedly. I pray that the names of their businesses are being called around table that they least expect. I pray, oh God, that the rivers of blessings and joy and happiness, the rivers of financial blessing are coming to them, oh God. Plant them by the rivers of water, oh God, that they will bring forth great fruit in their season. So now is the acceptable time. And everything that births from this show today, in the mighty name of Jesus, I declare it blessed as a man of God. In Jesus' name I pray. Let everybody type amen, amen, amen. God bless each and every one of you. Come back with us again on Let's Talk Church of God of Prophecy Live. I'm your number one host, Evangelist and James, aka Evangelist's name. My real name is Chad Adams. Anytime you need a talk show host, I'm here. That's the new business. So guess what? Talk show, all your talk show needs, I'm here. God bless you. And we welcome you back to another show. God bless each and every one of you. Take care. Goodbye.